Today we're going to be learning section 1E, the distributive property. The distributive property is used to find the product of a number and an expression. And the reason why we use this property is because when you go to simplify the numbers inside the parentheses, you're unable to simplify them because they're not like terms. So you have to use this property. So the property says, for the expression 3 parenthesis x plus 2, you basically multiply the 3, the number on the outside, by the numbers on the inside. That's where we get this right here, 3x, because 3 times x. And then we get this here, 3 times 2, because we're multiplying 3 times everything on the inside of the expressions. And they're equivalent. So when I look at number 1 and I say simplify this, order of operations would say look inside the parentheses and simplify what you have in there. Now I'm actually unable to combine y and 3 together because they're not like terms. Because they're not like terms, we have to use the distributive property, which says take the number on the outside of the stuff that's in the parentheses and just distribute it, multiply it, that means, by the numbers on the inside. So we get here 4 times y is 4y, and side note, you can multiply things that aren't like terms. You just cannot add or subtract them. Like you can't combine things that are not like terms, but you can multiply them no matter what. So 4 times y works, and then 4 times 3 gives me 12. So my final answer is 4y plus 12. That's the final answer. You cannot simplify that further because 4y and 12 are not like terms. Moving on to the second one. We would multiply 6 times x, and that becomes 6x. And then 6 times 9, that's 54. And we're going to keep this a plus sign here because everything is positive. So you're going to have a plus sign, and that would be your final answer there for number 2. So basically what you're doing is just multiplying the numbers on the outside by all of the stuff on the inside. So let me erase this and scroll down so I have some more space. When looking at number 3, there's just a little bit more going on here, but we still do the same exact process by multiplying the number on the outside by the numbers on the inside. Now, number 3 has different variables, a bunch of different variables, and 3 terms on the inside, but it's okay, it still will work. So I have 4n minus 3n minus 1 for number 3, and I'm basically just going to be distributing this all by 5. So step 1, 5 times 4n is 20n. Step 2, 5 times the second term here. Now you have 2 options. You can either think of that second term as a negative 3n, or you can think of it as a 3n connected by a subtraction sign. Either way, you're going to get a minus sign to combine these 2 things together. So 5 times negative 3n is negative 15n, or you can think of it as 5 times 3n, which is 15n, held together by a minus sign. Either way, you're going to get this next term being minus 15n. And then the last one, think of it as either 5 times negative 1, which is negative 5, or you can think of it as 5 times 1, which is 5, held together by a minus sign. So that will be your final answer here, 20n minus 15n minus 5, and that's all you can do because these are not all like terms, so that's it. And then number 4, negative 2 times 8w. That's going to be a negative 16w. And then here's where things can get a little bit tricky. We're now multiplying negative 2 times either, think of it as a negative 3. If you think of it as a negative 2 times a negative 3, then this is going to be a positive 6. If you don't like that method that I taught you the other day, and you prefer to think of this as just a 3, then this is going to be negative 2 times 3, and that's a negative 6. And then you would bring this subtraction symbol down here because it's held together by a subtraction symbol, and you would have negative 16w minus negative 6. Well, you'd have to simplify this. I know that every subtraction of a negative really means addition, so this would end up being negative 16w plus 6. I think that this first method is the easier way to go because you never have to deal with the minus stuff in this one, but it's up to you. As long as you can get the correct answer, which is negative 16w plus 6, I don't mind which method you prefer or which method you try. So what I want you guys to do at this point is try numbers 1 through 4 on the bottom of this page, and then we'll go over them together.